Okay, now let us go and understand what are various types of investments. Okay, so open your notes and put the heading classification of investments. Put the heading classification of investments. Under the write down, investments are broadly classified into two. They are investments are broadly classified into two. They are current investments and long-term investments. Investments are broadly classified into two. They are current investments and long-term investments. Current investments and long-term investments. So current investment, arrow mark down. Intended to be held for not more than intended to be held for not more than 1 year from the date 1 year from the date on which such investment is made, on which such investment is made. Very important. This 1 year is there, no? 1 year not from balance sheet date. 1 year is not from balance sheet date. 1 year is from date of acquisition of that investment. 1 year is not from the balance sheet date. Very important. Okay, then long-term investment. Simple. Other than a current investment. What is this? Other than. A current investment. See, always it is like this, okay? When you go to the framework for preparation and presentation of financial statements, they will explain you what is the current asset, what is a non-current asset. For current asset, they give you detailed guideline. Current asset is this. Non-current asset is an asset which is not a current asset. The mediates will be there. They will tell, sir, current asset is something which is not non-current asset. Non-current asset is something which is not current asset. Beta, congratulations. You have to pay exam fees again. Always current is explained. Non-current is other than current. Current asset explained, defined clearly. Non-current asset is other than this. Preferential equity share, long-term gain, short-term gain, this current investment, non-current investment, current asset, non-current asset. Everywhere one will be explained in detail. Second category is a residuary bucket. If it follows criteria, if it satisfies criteria 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, put it in this bucket. Sir, it is not satisfying this criteria. Throw it in the second bucket. Second bucket is a residuary bucket. Long-term investment is a residuary bucket. So if you define both, what happens, there will be one investment which is not following in both the buckets. That is the reason what they say, they define one bucket. If it is not falling in this bucket, put it in second bucket, so that no item will skip both the buckets. You understand why they define it like this? Those who write law or accounting standards are smart people, okay? Otherwise, what happens? This person, will show overaction and say, sir, what if I am not falling in this, I am not falling in that, sir. Better you will fall in one bucket. Okay, chalo. Anyway, now I'll give you one small case study kind of example. You try to tell me whether it is a current investment or a long-term investment. So, example 1, write down. Example 1. Mr. A purchased 100 equity shares of Infosys at rupees 1200 per share. on 1/2/2000 or on 1/8/2020, on 1/8/2020, with an intention to sell it on 31/11/2021, with an intention to sell it on 31/11/2021. Is it a current investment or long-term investment? Guys, tell me in the chat box. You tell me, is it a current investment or long-term investment? A question is there in ICAI study material, same question. Names change, same question is there. Okay, so I am getting an answer that it is a current investment. Very, 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 very important solution. It is a long-term investment. Why? Date of acquisition is 1/8/2020. So from date of acquisition, check 1 year. Date of acquisition, check 1 year. Don't check from, this is not, see, balance sheet date. From the balance sheet date, 1 year, this is wrong. This is right. From the date of acquisition, you need to check. Point number 1. Point number 2, second problem. Problem number 2. Problem number 2. Mr. A purchased 100 equity shares in TCS at a rate of rupees 2,250 per share on 1/1/2021. On 1/1/2021. Intended to hold it for 2-3 years. However, due to some reason, requirement of funds, however, due to some reason, he sold them on 31/5/2021. So he wanted to hold it for 2-3 years, but he had to sell it on 31/5/2021. So on balance sheet date, the investments, the shares are classified as long term. Classified as long term. Is it correct? Guys, tell me the answer. Is it correct? Yes or no? Fast. Don't waste time. The answer is super correct. Correct. The intention on the date of acquisition, this prevails. The intention on the date of acquisition prevails. So if intention is to hold it for more than 12, it is long term. Even subsequently it is sold for less than 1 year also, doesn't matter. You don't need to reclassify it forcefully. That's all. So on the date of balance sheet, it is long term. On the date of balance sheet, it is long term. Pawan sir, what if after balance sheet date, just 2 days after balance sheet date, client sold it? Let it be. What is your problem? Take management representation letter from the client stating that his intention is to hold it for long term. That's all. No problem. You understand? So question number 1 and question number 2, you understand these examples. So what is the summary? Investments are broadly classified into 2. They are current investments, long-term investment. What is a current investment? intended to be held for not more than 1 year from the date of acquisition, date on which the investment is made. Then what is long-term investment other than current investment? Having understood the classification, this is called classification. What is next to classification? Valuation. Definition, classification, valuation, accounting. After that, disclosures. Okay, now check here. So, valuation. Now come to valuation. We'll go back if required. Come to valuation. Carry, what is the carrying amount of investment? So, what is the value of investment? What is the value of investment? So, on the date of acquisition, investment must be recorded at cost. On the date of acquisition, investment must be recorded at cost. So this is called initial recognition. On the subsequent balance sheet date, Pawan sir, 31st March came, then see whether it is a long-term asset or short-term asset. On the date of purchase, same accounting. Whether it is a long-term asset or short-term asset, long-term investment or short-term investment, on the date of acquisition. Today I purchased 1000 shares in Infosys. There is no difference in the journal entry I passed today. Whether it is a long-term investment or whether it is short-term investment, accounting is same. This is initial recognition. That means valuation on the date of purchase. Subsequently, on 31st March, when you are preparing balance sheet, the valuation will change. So look here, on 31/12/2020, Mr. A purchased 1000 equity shares of Infosys at a rate of ₹1000. Whether it is a short-term investment or long-term investment, accounting is same on first day. So on 31/12/2020, on 31/3/2021, next balance sheet date. So here long-term, short-term comes. Is it current investment or is it long-term investment? Based on that, valuation differ. So if it is current investment, cost or market price, whichever is lower, or you call it fair value. Cost or fair value or market price, whichever is lower. Okay, majority of cases, market price is the fair value. Majority of cases. So on 31st March evening 3:30, when the stock market closed, if Infosys is 1125, that is the market price, that is the fair value. If market price is not available, then you need to calculate fair value. Arm's length transaction, unrelated parties, knowledgeable buyer, knowledgeable seller, intention to buy, not forced to buy. What is the arm's length transaction? That fair value definition, you know na, that you need to calculate when market price is not available. But Infosys is a listed company, dude. Market price is available. That itself is the fair value. If you are speaking about XYZ Limited, which is not a listed company, you have shares in that, then market price is not available, you need to calculate fair value separately. That is a different story. So if it is long-term investment, cost with one exception. Cost with one exception. What is the exception? However, if there is a fall, if there is a decrease in the value of investment, that is fall. If there is a fall in the value of investment other than temporary in nature, Pawan sir, what is the meaning of other than temporary nature? Can I consider it to be long term? Yes. So the reason why share is falling is not temporary. The reason is permanent. For example, I'll give you two examples. One, I invested in, say for example, Vedanta. I invested in Vedanta. So 150 rupees is the share when I invested. Okay, there is some fight between CEO, CFO or MD and CFO, or some public announcement came, or some share buyback is going on, or market is disappointed with them. So this 150 has fallen to 130. Is it a permanent fall? No, ups and downs is common. But two, I invested in S Bank. I invested when the share is 250 rupees. Now it has come down to 15 rupees. So do you think this 15 rupees will touch 250 rupees again in the near future? The answer is no, because it is not the normal reason, no. And even Punjab National Bank, you take, what was the share value of Punjab National Bank? 500, 400, 800, 300. Today it is 30 rupees. Today it is 30 rupees, 30, 36. Do you think it will go back to 600, 700? No way. Reliance Communication was 800 rupees. Today it is 1 rupee. Do you think this 1 rupee again go to 800? No, because these declines, these fall in the value of this investment, they are not due to temporary reason. They are due to some strong reason, which is long term. Jet Airways. So in this kind of situations, what I have to do, I cannot carry it at cost because there is a fall which is not temporary in nature. Here what we say is the depreciation is nothing but fall. The depreciation in the value of investment should be provided for, and this amount should be recognized as loss in P&L. You understand? This is long-term investment. So what is current investment valuation rule? Cost or fair value, whichever is lower. What is long-term investment rule? Always at cost except in one remote situation. That means 99% cost only. 99% cost only. But in case if there is a fall which is not temporary in nature, in case if there is a fall which is not temporary, that means in near future again this market price will not go up to that level. Huge fall is there. Then whatever the fall is, a provision for depreciation should be created. You understand? So this is subsequent valuation. That means not on the date of acquisition, on the date of balance sheet. So on every balance sheet you do this accounting. On every balance sheet. Now the question is, Pawan sir, when we purchase the asset, then what is the accounting? So we are discussing about two things. Valuation of investment on the subsequent balance sheet date and on the initial recognition when you are buying the investment. So part 2 on next balance sheet what to do already I told you. Now we'll go to learn part 1. So what is the journal entry I should write on the date when I am buying this? And this is classified into 3 situations. Point number 1, I paid cash and bought Infosys share. Point number 2, I gave my WagonR car and I got some Infosys shares. I have issued Pawan Kumar Private Limited, if at all it is there. There is no Pawan Kumar Private Limited, but if at all there is Pawan Kumar Private Limited, I have issued shares of Pawan Kumar Private Limited and I got Infosys shares. 3 situations where I am buying shares for cash, where I am buying shares for another company shares, and when I am exchanging another asset for shares. How to write journal entry, what is the cost, that is part 1. Okay, first tell me one thing, do you understand part 2? Before I go to part 1, do you understand part 2? Any doubts in part 2? Current investment, cost or realizable value, like cost or fair value, whichever is lower. Non-current, that means long-term investment, always at cost. One exception is there. What is the exception? If there is any fall in the value of investment due to a reason which is not temporary, create a provision for the depreciation, charge it off to P&L, book the loss. So shall we go to next step? If you are ready, say yes, then we'll go to next step.